Jose Young's here speaking with Derek Brunson ahead of his fight against Ian Heinisch at UFC 241 this Saturday in Anaheim. Now, Derek, we spoke with Ian a little while ago, and we asked him an assessment of your skills, and he said you're unpredictable, but that can be worked around because he used the similar phrase that John Jones used when he fought Thiago Santos: the unpredictable can become the predictable. How accurate is that statement when describing your own fighting style?
Fairly inaccurate. I think my last opponent said, if you've seen one Derek Brunson fight, you see them all. So he's expecting for me to, come the same way. But I like that he thinks I'm unpredictable, because now that lets me know, hey, okay, keep it there. He's in a spot where he's a little unsure of what I'm going to do, but he's thinking I'm just going to rush at him. So I like when people thinking that, but I'm getting more mature in the game, more of a vet, and it's all about picking your shots and keeping your unpredictableness.
And he said you really got on his radar during your Robert Whittaker fight, and he was upset with what you brought to the table in that fight. When he's like, I know he can win this fight, it bothered him that he basically said the holes are there and you're not capitalizing on it. What do you make of that assessment of his skills and yours? Like, he's watching your fight and getting annoyed that you're not doing certain things.
I respect that. That's a wrestler mentality. It's like, you're in a fight. You can pick spots where you can slow it down, where you can take your time and you can be more composed than when you choose not to. And I think that's a fair assessment of that fight, going into that fight. Whittaker, I had the mental advantage, and he wasn't riding with all the confidence that he's riding with now, and I felt it, I felt the nervous energy, I felt I had him in a bad spot, and I went out there just rushing it, whereas you're supposed to take your time in those moments, pick your spots. Instead of doing that, I didn't, so.
Well, in similar manner, he said the same thing with your fight against Israel Adesanya. He's watching your fight. He's like, he should have done this. I want to see if him take down Israel Adesanya, this and that. So it seems like he's watching a lot of tape on you leading into this fight.
Absolutely. That's the best thing to do. Whenever you break down somebody, watch a lot of film, but I didn't really watch a lot of film on him. I watched one of his fights. I saw what I needed to see, and I said, okay, well, this is what we need to do. This is how we need to take it. People are always going to work with their tendencies. I like thinking of myself as one of the smarter guys. Even though I make some of the dumbest decisions in the history of MMA when I'm out there fighting, I still understand and know how to break things down and depict and see where guys are good and where they aren't good at. And knowing that this is them. They're going to keep these same type of movements. They're going to do the exact same type of things. So I expect that out of him, with the film that I watch.
Now, he's paid a lot of attention to your career. He's paid a lot of attention to your tendencies. When did he get on your radar?
He got on my radar when he called me out.
Sure.
Yeah. This was like 2 fights ago. He did some interviews and was saying, I'd like to fight Derek Brunson. I'm like, who's this kid? And then I watched his next fight. I'm like, oh, that's that kid. Okay. So, yeah, he mentioned my name, and he did what he had to do. He wouldn't be in this fight if he hadn't beat another ranked guy, who's a tough guy, So he did that, and here we are.
And there's a lot's been made on his story of going to jail, seeing these crazy things. He's like, I've seen things like I shouldn't be alive right now, so what's getting into a fist fight inside of an octagon? Like, that's nothing to me. What do you make of those comments and people coming up to him and saying like, oh, you went to Rikers Island, you must be a scary dude? And he's like, not really, I just went to jail.
Absolutely, that's how I see it too. If you don't want to go to jail, don't do stuff to go to jail. You know what I mean? This ain't really no secret. If you do something you're not supposed to do, you might get slapped in Alcatraz or like the craziest prison. Doesn't make you a badass, particularly, It just means that you did something that you weren't supposed to do. So I don't feel, and it's like if you run out in front of a car and you almost get hit by a car and you gonna tell people, hey, man, that's my crazy story. I almost died. I almost ran across the street and got hit by a car. It doesn't matter. Stay out the street, So, like I said, if you don't want to go to jail, if you want to go to jail, don't do stuff to go to jail. Those stories doesn't impress me. Don't do stuff to go to jail.
And there's a lot of fights. There's your fight. There's the Paulo Costa Romero fight, a guy you fought before. There's a big title fight coming up in your weight class. Are you paying attention to all of that right now, or are you just like, I have to get through Ian before I can think of anything else after this?
Oh yeah, I take notice of all the fights, but yeah, that's my goal right now. At this point, I just pay attention to one fight at a time, to fight in front of me, because I've tried this fight, then this fight, this fight, and
it was going to be because he's doing what you just described, where he's like, when I beat him, I'm fighting Jacare next. Like, he's already he has it laid out. That's what you used to do Did that come back and bite you in the past?
It did, it did. You really start like overlooking people. I think the Whitaker fight, I was like, I had 5 first-round knockouts in a row, and I said, man, if I do 6, that's gonna be the UFC record. They're gonna pay me all types of money. I'm gonna fight for the title next. And man, it's just my thoughts translated how I fought, and then it kind of like threw everything out of whack. So I got down. I calmed down after the fight, and I was like, damn, that was dumb. You know what I mean? Like the whole thing I was chasing, I chased it too strong, and it blew up all my plans. So it taught me to take one step at a time.
So what does a win over Ian Heinisch in 2019 do for Derek Brunson?
It put me in a marquee matchup. One step closer. I still have title dreams, title hopes. I can't leave this game without getting a title shot. That's been my goal since I started it. I didn't come in thinking that, hey, I'm just going to fight in the UFC. That ain't enough for me. I need to actually do something, and that's get a title shot and hold the title.
And then one final one, we have to ask you about the big title fight between Israel Adesanya and Robert Whitaker, 2 guys you fought before. What do you make of that fight, and who do you see coming out on top?
I think it's a good fight. I think whoever can dictate their range. I think Adesanya would like to keep it long, keep it on the outside. Robert Whitaker would like to get in the inside and be able to touch him, cut off the cage. So whoever can impose their will tonight, I think they'll be the winner.
Do you think a 5-round fight benefits either man?
Oh, yeah. I think it's good. I think it gives people time to, feel that first round out and then go from there. You don't have to really rush or blitz.
Thank you so much and good luck on Saturday. Appreciate you, sir.